A decade-long wait in the murder trial of Crystal Rogers is coming to an end. The jury expected to get the case tomorrow.
WDRB's Fallon Glick and Valerie Chin report tonight on the last thing they heard from the prosecution and the defense.
A full day of closing arguments, both defense teams saying the same thing. There's no physical evidence in this case.
But the prosecution saying behavior can be considered evidence. They say Crystal Rogers never returned home from the farm and that Brooks Houck and Joseph Lawson need to be held responsible.
Joseph Lawson's attorney, Robert Boyd, called him a fool, a drug addict, and a liar. He painted the picture to the jury that his client would not be capable of pulling off a crime like murder when there is no body and no evidence. He told the jury, quote, "Whatever happened to Crystal Rogers is terrible. She should be with us here today." He said the family deserves answers, but the government hasn't been able to give them answers either. He asked the jury to use cell phone data as their North Star because it doesn't forget things. And he called prosecution witnesses some of the most untrustworthy he's ever seen. Brian Butler, Brooks Houck's defense attorney, used a similar argument. With changing stories in police interviews, Butler called them some of the most coercive, outrageous interviews you will ever see in your life. He pointed out oddities in Houck family behavior, like recording grand jury testimonies, and this phone call where Nick Houck, a Bardstown police officer, tells Brooks not to talk to Detective Snow during a police interview.
"I know you told me innocent people have got jammed up, but if you're telling me to leave, I'll get up and leave."
Butler told the jury it's not sinister. It's a brother wanting to help at a time when the family was seen as the villains of Bardstown. And with no physical evidence in this case, he asked the jury to send Brooks home to his son and find him not guilty. Meantime, prosecutor Shane Young told the jury you can consider someone's behavior as evidence. He told Brooks Houck's version of events is all a lie for what happened July 3rd, saying, quote, "Her surprise date was her surprise ending." Houck did not tell police in his statement that he spent most of his day at the family farm. He also told police Crystal stayed up playing games on her phone when they got home from the farm after midnight, when cell phone data showed her phone was off by 9:23 p.m. Brooks even suggested this as a possible explanation for where Crystal may have went after midnight.
They do these fantasy parties. All these girls get together. They talk about and do whatever.
Young said Houck was not able to provide a rational explanation for why Crystal was gone. He ended the trial by telling the jury, quote, "He was the last person to see her alive. He needs to be held responsible."
There are 15 jurors, but only 12 are needed.
Attorneys will strike 3 and then deliberations will start. Reporting in Bowling Green with Valerie Chin, I'm Fallon Glick, WDRB News.